10 seconds to open up this door. I swear to God, I'm gonna break this door. 10. Open that fucking door. I'm calling my mama. Call my mama. Bitch, I been knew how to count, ho. Show 4 out of that. Dad do that. You can open the door.
You can find the original video on TikTok of these 3 young black males, 9 years old, they're saying, in green Walgreens. And you hear the video, and it's very sad. They are definitely heading for tomorrow's prison or worse. So when people try to tell black women why it is important to be married before procreating, instead of taking it as wise counsel, they cuss you out, they call you names, they tell you that their children don't need their daddy, that their daddy is dusty, and all kinds of things. I did a video months ago, probably over a year ago now, and you had this father talking to his ex-wife, ex-woman, whatever she was to him, about their 14-year-old son. And the father clearly had structure in his home and accountability for his son. And his ex-wife, whoever she was shooting it down every step of the way. She did not want the father of her child to basically teach her son how to be a man. These young men in this video, they are tomorrow's son husbands. They are tomorrow's baby daddies. And they're going to create more children like themselves. The young man, and if you go to TikTok, you can see the video for yourself. The one in the green robe, he already has like female ghetto mannerisms to me. And I remember many, many decades ago, probably 40 years ago, almost 40 years ago, there was this young man that I went to school with who was 14 years old at the time. And I was maybe a couple of years older than him. And he ended up losing his life to gun violence at the age of 14. He had bought his mother a car. And from what I remember now, I was a teenager, but from what I remember, the mother was like, I don't know. I didn't know that he was, selling drugs or whatever he was doing. Okay, but how does a 14-year-old boy buy you a car? Legally. So a lot of these mothers encourage this type of behavior from their children. They learn this from somebody. And if you're the mother and your children are coming home with things that you know you didn't buy, that you also know how much money you may have given them, you would start to question, okay, where did this come from and why do you have it? And if you are a real mother, you would march that stuff right back to that store. And you would you would ground your child for a week or a month or whatever. But you don't keep excusing this behavior, because then it's going to get worse. And years ago, I was going to do a video called Black Women Love Their Sons to Death. It's a play on words, because a lot of these mothers, they either worship their sons or they hate their sons because their sons remind them of the man that they willingly slept with, who ultimately left her. Another problem is Black leaders will not hold things like this accountable. If anything, they're going to excuse it. Well, they're poor. The mother's a single, struggling mother. They have to get, food or whatever it is that they had in their bags, to sustain themselves. But at some point, we as a community have to stop relying heavily on leaders and start doing for self. These young boys, this is the job of their dad or dads to step up to the plate. But even that can be a problem because a lot of these women, as I said, I did a video a year or so ago of this black woman refusing to let the man, her child's father, be a man to her son. In order for a boy to be a man, he's got to see a man. And a lot of these women hinder that. And one last thing that I wanted to say, and I've said it in a previous video. At some point, men of other races are going to get fed up with the foolishness that goes on in our community. And they're not going to come from a place of love. It's going to come from a place of frustration and hate. So the black leaders who will not stand up to this, these mothers who won't control it or try to control it or can't control it, somebody is going to put a stop to this. I'm not talking about just these boys in particular, but this type of behavior that goes on across our communities, it's going to be a stop put to this at some point, and we're not going to like it. So we're going to have to stop acting like we don't know what accountability is and stop being victims and start raising productive citizens of society. 9 years old, I'm Gen X. I can't even begin to fathom what would have happened to me if I pulled a stunt like that. I would have never. So this is ridiculous, and I just wanted to touch on it, and I'll talk to you later.